Yo, yo, yo. Can you even fucking hear me? Jesus Christ. That music is way too loud. Hold up. Yeah, all my friends went to Lil Pump without me. Do I look like I'm in? I don't know. Don't know what? A barely meme rapper? If I get copyright stricken for having my music playing while I show some Yu-Gi-Oh content, I think there's enough layers of like commentary. Okay, this lighting is not gonna happen, right? So we gotta hit something like this. That still doesn't make it. Oh, that lens flare, it looks cute. That should be the right. That should be the right there, right there. Oh. That should be like card art. That should be the. It's like my third eye just came out my head. That should be the what's it called? What's that art? They put thumbnail. I'm new to YouTube. I'm just getting back into Yu-Gi-Oh, and I broke my computer while I was working on my like greatest album this far. Cause that's what I do. I fucking make music, but sometimes I come back to Yu-Gi-Oh and I fuck around. Anyway, so if you've been following the current Yugi meta, I'm not about to talk to Brooke about how to fix her audio signal. I mean, she came over before. She's goofy about that shit. Like, she was scared to play 50 Cent. It's like, okay, we all grew up with that artist. We're all accustomed to 50 Cent. It doesn't mean some sketchy thing is gonna happen. Okay. Anyway, the point is, so we had actually. I'll back out of this, or can I? Let me see. So I'm gonna back out of this and go to my deck edit because recently at a YCS, this player, I'll link his name and like a link to his him explaining his own deck. I'll link that in the description, but like he tried to do this like remove deck, which this idea has actually been around since Gren Maju came out, like I think in IOC, Invasion of Chaos. And it's funny because I'll hear Yu-Gi-Tubers say like this card's old. It's like, that's not old, dude. Like, I used to play tournament level like when Blackluster Soldier first came out, like that's not old. This game is twice as old as what the oldest players think is old. And like current players, like I heard someone on like a Yu-Gi-Tuber say like Soul Charge, like, holy cow, this card's great. How come no one's playing it? Like, yeah, we played it. It just doesn't work right now. We're paying attention to what works and what doesn't. Like, we've been around the block. Anyway, so Maju Banish has been around, and it always stemmed from here. I'm on the OBS screen. It's as you know, Macrocosmos and Dimensional Fissure, because when they came out, they were kind of around the same time. You know, the Dinosaurs Tyranno Infinity came out at the same time as this Dimensional Fissure. And that's when Tim Thomas fucking sacked everyone at our locals at Pandemonium, Michigan with a dinosaur deck. And this is before whatever the ultimate Tyranno that flips things face down. Who cares? Like, way before that. He had a working dinosaur deck when no one could get dinosaurs to work. And if anyone asked him how he got it to work, he would say, I used to want to be a paleontologist growing up. So that's fucking hilarious. And if anyone can get me in touch with Tim Thomas, Jeff Jones, I'm gonna get in touch with him eventually. We're sure about that. But Tim Thomas specifically, like, that guy was hype. He was always trying to like be true to himself, but also creative. Cool guy. Anyway, so the original, you know, the one that made that YCS stream, and like I said, I don't remember the player's name. He's sick. He's dope. Like, it was So bold of him to play this deck, because that's how I feel too, right? Because links are just like, what the heck? What are you gonna do with links? Like, if you haven't been playing link format from the start of it, you're already at a loss for words. So instead of going chain burn, which is kind of the obvious answer and kind of cheap, he just he dug deep into his old strategies and thought about which one would work. And you know, Gren Maju banish, you know, with the new support like Million of Eaters or Eater of Millions, whatever. It's like, it's sick. It's, of course you can like Allure of Darkness your like Necrophase, or you can do this card here. What's it called? Can you see? I don't even know if you can see my cursor. I hope you can. I don't know if I enabled that. I'm not sure. But the Millennium, what's it called? Millennium Sarcophagus? Pharaoh Sarcophagus? Whatever. It's so dope, dude. Like, literally, the first time you draw it, like, even if you have, let's say you have one Necrophase in hand, you immediately just send the other one. At the very least, it thins your deck out and increases the likelihood that you pull into your Gren Maju or your Million Eaters or any of your like pro cards, you know, like anything sick, you know. It's pretty dope. And I made my build a lot different than the guy that, you know, he went 4-3 at YCS, and he admitted he was like kind of lucky. It was sick though, because like it was on the feature stream, and he like, no one had seen this deck in years, and he like aced it with like current cards involved. But I just think he was too defensive. He was like way too focused on Gren Maju being like a quote-unquote win condition. I don't think that's appropriate at all. Like, yeah, Gren Maju, if you get that one punch, you know, One Punch Man, like, if you get that hit in off of Gren Maju at, like, 16,000 attack or something, like, it's obviously dope, but, like, my changes were, like, I took out stupid shit. I left in, you know I added in Mind Control. Mind Control I had to add in because I heard Mega Cap G say, like, dude, Mind Control, you can literally, like, your opponent sets up this huge link combo and puts out this crazy link monster that's like 5 million links. Fine. Next turn, you steal that link, play one of your monsters, maybe even like a dead Necrophase that's just sitting in your hand, or anything dead, like anything that's just sitting. Because these are all pretty tight monsters. Like, I even have Banisher down to 1 because it's so tight that way. But, like, anything. Like, just summon something and mind control their link or whatever their strongest thing is. Sack it off. And I have, down here, you see I have, here, let's go to deck edit. I don't know why I was in that window. But, like, down here, you see I have, like, Deco Talker. It's not like I'm trying to... What, I'm going to summon all these fusions? I'm going to summon Gaia. I'm going to summon Skull Knight. Twin-headed Thunder? Yeah, right. I'm not going to summon Joan of Arc. We got to give some love to Joan of Arc because she had like a mini like 4-card archetype to her. But beautiful woman, historically, not really represented well in Yu-Gi-Oh! And also not really represented well in history. We actually don't know much about her. She might have killed people because she was crazy. We're not sure. But she might have been beautiful. We don't really know. Gemini Zirconia, yeah, didn't exist. So we know that's straight. That guy didn't exist. None of these existed. But Joan of Arc, actual person in history. A little history lesson tied in. But it was kind of like Christian versus Islam. Like, Christian versus, like, everyone. Terrible idea, considering if you look at pretty much the top 10 religions across the world, their main principles, their core principles that they adhere to are all the same. So, what? A different label? Like, oh, mine says Supreme. Mine says Gucci. Mine says The Gap. Mine says Kohl's. We all have to kill each other now. No. You're all just wearing clothes. That's how it works. Simple. Fuck clout. Fuck all that shit. Anyway, yeah, so I tried to maximize draw power from his build, you know, and I thought immediately soul absorption from the reviews I saw, or not reviews, like playthroughs, you know, of similar decks from years ago before like some of this stuff came out. People were trying to run something similar to this long ago, and the soul absorption was a common staple just because it racks up. It really does. Like, you can pass entire turns of like having 0 cards. You can pass like 2 turns with 0 cards and then still win. Like, this, because they see this card and they think, oh, why would they play this? Or they think, I've never heard of this. Why would I care? I'm looking out for ABC Dragon. I'm looking out for True Draco. I'm looking out for Spiral Double Helix. Like, you know, but like, who cares? Like, if you slip past their defenses by playing this first, and then it's like, slam, you play that. Slam, you play it. Like, you can like, one game I'm going to show you, I played like a soul absorption. They went first, set up a huge board. I played soul absorption, dimension fissure, and dark hole. And it was like, I gained like 5,000 life points, cleared their field, they were left at a disadvantage, and then like next turn I just won. That might not be true, it might be an exaggeration. Anyway, let's exit out of this. I kind of want to, yeah, sure, nothing changed. So, I'm just going to show you, like, it was you know, I went undefeated since, let's see, when did I go undefeated since? Let's go back. Are these date based? So they're all gonna be, what's this one? Let's just checking what this is. I did not play Magician's Rod ever. Nope. I literally never played Magician's Rod. So let's check this out. Oh yeah, I was playing some Demise Insect OTK. It was pretty sick. But like that was, let's check this. This is like around where it started. Right? And literally once I started playing, like with those texts that I mentioned. Oh, actually, I forgot to mention 2 texts that I included. So I included Chaos End. Let's add it so you can see it. Chaos End, right? No, I want to see. Let's put it here so I can get it on the screen. Chaos End. You can only activate if 7 or more of your monsters, or cards in general, are removed from play. Destroy all monsters on the field. Doesn't matter if they're monster, spell, or trap. Doesn't matter if they're face up or face down. Now, if you keep in mind the Pot of Desires, the Eater of Millionaires, and all the cards, including the Necrofaces too, because even though they're cost to drawing to those 2 previously mentioned cards, they also banish more. Like, at 1, it's definitely live most of the time. I caught someone off guard by having a 3rd board wipe without running, because like I'm not gonna run Interrupted Kaiju Slumber, because I only want the Radion. Like, I hate Radion. Radion's cool, but like I don't want a 2800 on my opponent's field. Especially if I have to run off element, you know. But as a one-of, Chaos End is sick. And as for my other one-of, I ran Pot of Acquisitiveness. Now, this hasn't gone off yet, but I think it definitely could. I used to run it in my Dark Heroes, which is a deck I actually built IRL when Goblin was at 3, Rhoda was at 3, Like, it was savage. Like, my deck had the highest consistency, and I don't know why. Destiny, Dark Hero, Synchro wasn't tier 1 at the time, because I defeated everyone. I never lost a game with it. And what's his name took it to a tournament. He was cool. That was when Norden was a thing, you know. His opening hand, he got out Norden, and he pulled off a sick Greffer combo. I'm doing too much dialogue. Anyway, let's go to the replays. The point is, those are my main techs, right? Like, as far as compared to the guy that played in YCS, I included the soul absorptions, maxed out, the fissure, the macrocosmos, the upstart, because why wouldn't you? You're already in like the 20,000s of attack points. What does it matter if your opponent has 1,000 more? You're killing them one shot either way. Draw another card. Get to the OTK quicker. I was flabbergasted he wasn't playing that at YCS. Mind control. I'm just in love with the idea of it. I'll be like, for Eater of Millions, I'll sack off like 14 of my 15 extra deck, and I'll leave this guy, but only if Mind Control is not in my graveyard. If it is in my graveyard, then I'll drop all 15. Or if I have 2... Dude, here's a pro tip. If you have 2 Eater of Millions, if you're trying to play this deck, and you have 2 Eater of Millions in your hand, like, drop one with, like, half your extra deck, drop the other one with the other half. They both summon, but they both get, like, the full extra deck's worth of attack points and whatever desires you flipped, you know, so. Anyway, I think that's all the tech. Yeah, Banisher of Radiance. What of it? That's nothing special. We all know about that. I think I went over everything. Yeah, that's everything. It's a pretty simple deck for someone who plays this. Jesus Christ. If my future girlfriend or wife sees this, I'm going to be so sad. I'm actually not. So, but the match I wanted to show on stream, or is this streaming? I don't even know. I guess it is. Ooh, maybe. Maybe. If it's not, it's recording, so we're good. But the first match, I beat the Pendulum player. This is what happened. You can, like, check it out. I'm gonna fuck around for a second. I'll be back. I'll commentate when I get back. So my board is cleared. How am I gonna come back, right? But you understand, I won the first game. So they took like damage, you know, they put in serious work and tried to bring out like, they tried to summon the Winged Dragon of fucking Rod. The most absurd thing. But here I go, getting some combo shit off. Check this out. Watch this Desire split. And I think I go for the Necroface, right? Oh, I ditch the Necroface and I pull into the Maju. Because Gren Maju, at this point, 36 times 400, he's so strong. But he gets popped. Because this trap card is bullshit. Pendulum Grasp is generic specific, but it can like... It's weird. Like, because of the way magicians work, they all bounce around and get resources back. Kind of like how the original Pepe used to. But Pendulum Grafters... But then I came in with a second one, and it was like, you're done. Sick, right? So that was game 1. You know, we had a little chat going. You can't see all the chat, because I guess replays don't save the chat. So I can exit. Go to the second game, I lose the second game. I do, I'll admit that. It's still a sick game. I got really close. Like, this opening hand is so many draw cards. Plus, I got the D-Fissure. Like, I'm about to max out my boost level, you know? Like, at this point, I remember in the chat, I had to stop and ask him, like, what was negating what? Because you're a poison magician? I don't know how, but, I don't know. He negated something that I didn't understand in the first game and this game. But here, my Gren Maju got first turn an open strike of, like, 6,000 damage. He had to use his Raigeki to clear it. Because he knows I'm not going for a board swarm. He's not going to get card advantage over me. And he goes for his, like, highest link monster. And just keeps pushing. He keeps extending. Which is funny. Because right here, right down here, I have this dark hole. Y'all know dark hole, if you ever play this game. Like, it was in the first starter deck. Both first starter decks, if I remember. So, like, I passed because I have 14,000 life points. I can pass. He's not gonna OTK me. He can't. Unless he has, like, some bootleg limiter removal that, like, quadruples everyone's attack. Regardless of attribute. Like, fine. So now, I draw the discard fodder I need. Dark hole everything. Chain the yeah. And then I discard that card. Yeah, he still has his penalty. He sacrifices it. Boom. Now he has 3 cards to work with against... I mean, yeah, it's kind of... At this point, it looks like an evenly matched game. But be fair, he's playing Pendulums in Link format. I thought I was gonna win. I thought next turn... What was my card? Oh, I don't have God mode turned on. Right. Anyway... So this is the final one, and this one's savage, dude. This one's really sick, I think. I know that I wanted to show the entire match. I'm probably gonna, like, tweet this to Sladra, because I love Sladra. He shouted me out before for showing him a meme that I found. It wasn't even my meme. It was that Pot of Greed, Copy Homework. Copy Homework is, like, a meme of his own. But the Pot of Greed. Pot of Greed is a meme of its own. I got a meme. I got a meme apple. I got a meme apple. I don't got a Gucci gang, that's for sure. Or a clout gargle. Yeah, half of these magicians, I didn't understand the point of him summoning any of them. He was just, like, giving me life points. And, like, none of them got their effects. They didn't do anything. Like, or if they were gonna do something, it was, like, something so minor. Like, even Pendulum Sorcerers, like, what? He didn't use the effect, or, like, what were you going for? And it's like, boom, watch me boost up. Oh, game. Because that vanishes, and then there's direct damage. Game over. And that's the match. Now, listen, I know it's listed as anti-meta or a rogue deck, but I'm gonna say to you, like, these quote-unquote anti-meta decks have been around, and they have fucked players up for years. Chainburn has fucked players up for years. Like, I think the whole point right now, Konami is, like, putting pressure. They're, like, forcing everything into, like, a little bucket. And your whole thing, when it comes to real Yu-Gi-Oh players, is to bust the fuck out of that. If your deck equips monsters as continuous spells, Tekken Hamon. Like, get creative, dude. Like, bust in, like, random shit that, like, wins you games. Steal games. Like, play that card that you remember from 10 years ago that used to win you games, but was out of style. Who cares if it's in style? You remember it. You remember it won you games. Try it. Remember how Yugi and Kaiba played, like, what? They played like 40 cards that were basically like every card had to be unique, except maybe like 3 blue eyes, like because Kaiba's a bitch. Sure, play a deck like that. Who knows? You might fuck shit up, because that's not what the current meta is. Might catch people off guard. You never know. If a drop off or a 7 tools of the bandit or a fucking Karibo, like you don't know, dude. Like it's trippy. Like you gotta be more meta than the meta. You gotta go further. And we'll get into the spiritual level of that. Probably never, because this is an entertainment channel. And I'm already going too long, so let me know down in the comments below whether or not you like those replays. Yeah, I thought it was a cool match. I was undefeated for like 8 straight matches, pretty much, with this exact build. And then I played Spiral. Spiral we don't fuck with. And then it was just like, this was my game after that, and I had to record it and share it. It was because I know this and True Draco are like the 2 competitors for 2nd place compared to Spiral. So like I had to record it for other good players' research purpose. Anyway, that's the whole stream. God damn. I wonder if I'm gonna get